Indiana Congressman Mike Pence just met with BP yesterday and will be meeting with local Louisiana officials today. Congressman Pence joins us from New Orleans. Good morning, Congressman.
Hey, good morning, Peter. Thanks for having me on.
Happy to have you. There's a bunch of things we want to talk about. First of all, controversy over dispersants. People are saying that BP and the Coast Guard made it worse. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, what we saw yesterday, and I think what you just heard that diver describe, is that far from being a threat to the environment, as officials at the EPA assumed in their efforts to delay the use of core exit for, I think, about 3 weeks, the EPA, I'm glad to see, has now confirmed that the use of dispersants is not harmful to the environment, and that, in fact, what we heard from BP officials yesterday is that that Thad Allen's decision to go ahead with the aggressive use of dispersants was a major contributing factor to why why this spill has been mitigated to the degree that it has. There's still a lot more work to be done, but it does look that like, despite strong opposition from the Obama administration's EPA early on with the use of dispersants, that core exit played a critical role in helping to break this spill up and mitigate its impact on the environment and on the coastline.
Well, let's talk about impact on the environment and the economy. Let's talk about the larger picture, Congressman. What is the president's policy with regard to energy independence and the future of this energy industry in America? And just talk about taxes in that regard, if you would.
Well, Peter, it's the right question. I mean, we're going to meet with Billy Nungusser and a lot of local officials today. We'll get out to the site with a delegation of Republican members of Congress. It's starting to look more and more like that the environment will recover, the Gulf will recover, but it's much less certain that the economy of the Gulf will recover because of the imposition of the drilling moratorium by the Obama administration. I mean, the reality is that we hope and pray maybe when we're out at the site today that the static kill will take effect. They'll get the mud down there and they'll seize the thing up in a way that is going to begin the process of permanently sealing it. But this 6-month, maybe ad infinitum moratorium on drilling is killing this economy. We'll hear from one expert this morning, an economist who produced a study that he said in the 6 months of the moratorium, it's cost more than 8,000 jobs here in the region. There have been other estimates of many multiples of that. So what we've already heard since we arrived in New Orleans yesterday is yes, we want the follow-up to make sure that we're protecting the environment, but for heaven's sakes, get this moratorium lifted and lifted now and let this region come back economically just as the environment has a chance to come back now.
What's the Mike Pence, what's the Republican solution on that issue, on drilling and on taxes? Should we be taxing American oil production?
Well, look, you know, Peter, thanks for observing. The Democrats last week actually brought a bill to the floor of the Congress that would raise taxes on domestically produced oil and natural gas, I think $2 per barrel, that would drive us to more dependence on foreign oil. You combine that with the moratorium on deep water drilling in the Gulf and the fact that some rigs have already headed out to other parts of the world, you know, this administration has a policy of greater dependence on foreign sources of oil. The Republican plan in the American Energy Act that many of us that are traveling to New Orleans today helped to draft it gives the American people more access to American oil and natural gas in an environmentally responsible way, develops wind, solar, and nuclear, encourages conservation through tax incentives. That's the real answer, not more taxes and a really mind-boggling moratorium on domestic production here in the Gulf.
Thank you so much for being with us from the Gulf, and we wish you well on your tour of that affected area. Thanks, Congressman Pence.